Mic check 1 2. 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 Yeah, we can hear it. Put that in your mouth, boy.
Bad timing. Call drop.
Yeah, put them in there.
My voice might crack on the first try.
It don't matter.
Ask them if anyone else is freezing.
Hey guys, is anyone else's phone freezing up on y'all? I mean, we seem to have good things going.
Yeah, sign language.
Yeah, it's gonna be something like that. Get your popcorn, y'all might enjoy this. No, notice he got his microphone clipped on him, guys. So that's hopefully so y'all can hear him.
They say it looks good. Get this out of the way. Let's try this.
Let's do it, man.
Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. How was that?
It's gonna be quiet, not as loud, guys. So bear with him. This is gonna be strange not hearing him scream.
Won't be as emotional as what we're accustomed to. I'm still under the weather, it seems like. Have not regained my voice. But the fans deserve a recap show, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we're going to give them.
That's right.
Even if you carry us
Don't worry.
to the whole weekend.
I'll just make him tell me what to say. That's what.
There you go. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from Gary Swallows Taekwondo Martial Arts building here in Opelousas, Louisiana. Round one of the playoffs. And we have some teams that are moving forward. We're going to talk about it this evening. Excited to start the journey into round two. We still have a game where we're waiting to find out what's going to happen, what the ruling will be. A lot of big upsets this week, a lot of blowouts, and a lot of statement type of wins.
Right.
Round two is here, so all the teams with a bye week, Gary, it's time for them to enter into the playing field, and their road to the dome will begin. Round one, put a check by the box. It's done. Let's go.
Yeah. We're in round two now. We got all the teams are going to be playing this week. It's a lot of excitement. We're still waiting on ruling for one, and then we're still waiting for that other ruling to happen. Hopefully this week sometime.
Yes, that will be earlier in the week for that court case. Yes.
So we have a couple things that we're going to be talking about, but we had some great games, some great wins for some programs that you wouldn't think that they were going to be in the hunt. And a good ball game by one team that we didn't think was going to be there, but they put a scare on one of our locals.
Oof, right down the road.
That was really
major
scary.
Comeback.
And we'll talk about that as we get there. But man, overall, some great games. We covered, a couple of them. Man, we were excited to be a part of two of them this week. And all we can say is that now every team that's in the playoffs that's left is going to be playing. and it's gonna be left all on the field.
Every game matters the
That's
rest
right.
of the way. It's win or go home. It is round 2. You know what the beauty of round 2 means? It means that the winner of this week is headed to Turkey week.
To Turkey week, right?
Every team wants to make it to Thanksgiving week.
There's not a team in this state that can honestly say they don't want to be practicing during Thanksgiving week. You know, they all want to be on the field. They know what's going on. That means they're going to basically they're in the quarters. They're ready to go, and you know, man, that's when it starts getting real exciting.
You're right, my friend. Gary, these round 2 matchups that we taken a look at before we started this show, they're shaping up to be some dandies and some hellified good matchups that we're going to be paying close attention to across the state of Louisiana next week. There'll be some hard picks to make also Wednesday.
Yeah, you're right. We're going to have some hard picks this coming week. We were kind of looking at the matchups earlier. Man, they got a few flip the coin type games that's going to be played this week.
Gary, we got a big time matchup right down the road also, my
you're
friend.
Right. You got a big time matchup.
You talk about a showdown, A-Meat's offense versus Bunky's defense is the headline right now. That's going to be fireworks, standing room only.
The Grove will be rocking.
The Grove will be rocking. You got A-Meat trying to go for, what is it, their 8th championship in program history.
Yeah,
You got
something like
Bunky, that's an undefeated season, one of the best we've ever seen in recent memory. So
Yeah.
it's one that you're gonna pay for and get your money's worth.
Oh, most definitely.
We expect to see one of the biggest crowds we've seen all season.
Right.
This coming week.
I think so. Yes, sir.
Gary, we got a chance to cover 2 games this week. Opelousas and Bastrop, and we got to cover Lowerville and Marksville. Great hospitality from both. A record-breaking night on Thursday. What was a 38,000 views week earlier in the year now sits at 59,000.
Right.
A record that may never be caught.
And growing because people are going to go back and see it. They're going to say, hey, what was about that game? And they're going to go back and check it. So we might hit 60, dude.
That record may never be caught again
Yeah.
unless it does this week.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, that game that we're going to be covering is going to be well worth seeing if ever you're going to see it. I think it's going to be
And we want
historic.
everybody to come in attendance.
Yeah.
Don't watch
Yeah,
us.
don't watch us. Come in attendance and
You
see
can
it.
watch
see
us
it
on
in
replay.
person. But man, that game is going to be very exciting. Very exciting.
The fans and
And
us.
they're all going for this. They're all going to try to get to the state championship game at the Dome.
Yeah,
That's
man,
what they
you got to
shoot
get
for.
your 2024
I
shirt
know.
this year.
This one's a few years old, but yeah, I'll get one every year and I wear it all the time, and I love it.
You talk about the fans in us as high school football fans. Sometimes we sit there and think how blessed we are just to see these matchups.
Right, we are.
On a journey to Road to the Dome. Gary, we go back to Friday, and man, the crew had to pull it off, man. It was. We had a lot of concerns whether we was gonna pull it off all day.
Right.
And you, Enoch, Bryson, man, y'all rallied together to make Friday night happen.
Well, it's a group effort, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Enoch did a great job with us. Bryson was there spotting. Jordy did a lot. His voice was cracking up, and I did my best to try to not botch the show up too much. But I think we had a good game. It was a good team effort, and I think that was one of the best shows we did this year.
What a beautiful stadium Lowerville has.
More than definitely. Most definitely.
The hospitality shown is real. The love there is going to be a place that we're going to get back to in the very near future.
Right. Bryson had a buddy of his that was cooking some gumbo. We got some gumbo there. Thank you very much again, Bryson, for all your friends, everybody that was doing that. The hospitality was great. Can't say enough about the facility, man. The facility is great, beautiful field. That's one of the oldest fields as far as artificial turf around, and it's still in pretty decent shape for being. I think they said over 10 years old. And I'm gonna tell you, it just seeing that how it's maintained, but they take care of their field, and that's one of the most important things. They take care of it.
Yeah, Garrett. Also, there was a certain chill in the air on Friday night where we finally said, "Man, finally playoff weather has arrived,
Yeah.
and it's only going to get colder moving forward, and I'm excited for the cold weather Friday night.
Oh yeah, we were laughing. Jordy had his jacket and his hoodie, and I was there in
And
my
a
long
beanie.
sleeve shirt and a beanie, and I was like, it ain't gonna get that cold, dude. So he was like, but I'm cold natured, so he had everything on standby.
You're right. Gary, we had a lot of locals that punched their ticket to the second round.
Right.
So congratulations to those guys, coaches. Phenomenal football that was played this year right here locally in the Acadiana area,
You're right.
and right there in the Lake Charles area, right there, the Baton Rouge area, and so on, my friend. So we're glad that we seen a lot of locals punch their ticket to the second round.
Yeah. I'm excited by everybody. You know, whenever you see the talent in the Acadiana area and the Lake Charles area and the Baton Rouge area, and there's areas all around, and there's so much talent out of those individual areas. But man, you know, I can't say enough about the Acadiana area, man. We got some talent in this area. You know, around like you said, the 337 area code, all around Acadiana. We got some high quality teams, and some are going to be carrying on. Some didn't quite make it, but
Yeah.
some are going to be carrying on, representing well.
Your words of encouragement for those seniors that played their last downs
Oh, yeah.
in the first round of the playoffs, Gary.
Oh, words of encouragement, man! If this was your last time, this past week was your last time playing high school football, cherish every moment. Cherish the team camaraderie with your teammates, no matter what classification they are, freshman, sophomore, junior. But you won't be playing with them anymore. You're gonna have it.
Memories.
So cherish those memories because they will last a lifetime.
Yeah, the bus rides.
Yes,
The
everything.
last 48 minutes, my friend. The pre-games, the pre-game meals, all of it. Remember every one of them because you'll never forget putting on that uniform. So congratulations on a great career. It comes short in round one, but I'm sure there's great memories to tell for years to come.
You're right.
Gary, how about we go through some of these brackets here? We got Division 4 that we're going to start with. We'll start with the non-select bracket.
Correct.
And this is the one that had some controversy in it where we don't know where Welsh will be next week. Will they be in the quarterfinals? Will they await the Faraday or Lake Arthur? So we're still waiting for that results there.
Right.
But we'll start off with the Montgomery and Vinton game. You know, this one had a shot to be a good one. A little 16-17 matchup. Two teams that had a great season turnaround programs here. And this one right here lived up to the hype. 42-40. Montgomery gets a big-time win. What a game that must have been.
It must have been, I can't say anything more than how exciting
That's
it was.
playoff
But
football.
That's what playoff football is. But look at the turnaround that Vinton did in just 1 year. And I'm gonna tell you, I think that they're basically setting the foundation for a successful program. But Montgomery had the home field; they were not going to be denied, and they came out on top at the end.
You know what we forgot to do, Gary?
What's that?
We forgot to ask the great crowd that is listening here on a Sunday afternoon. If you had a big winner in round one and you want to shout out your team, go ahead and do that now in the chat. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Love to hear where the fans are listening from, Gary.
Let us know. Let us know. We'd love to hear.
I see Mr. Billy Taylor in the chat saying Grand Lake Hornets. We're going to talk about them in a few moments, but they had a thrilling finish to their game. We're fixing to get to them in a second.
You're right.
Welsh took care of business against West St. Mary, 59-24. Greyhounds, they have rallied together since the injury earlier in the year, and my friend, they're playing their best football going into the playoffs.
Welsh has come together as a team, and I think that's motivated them to, in all aspects, to where they can actually
Make a little run.
Yeah, make a run. Yeah, I'm excited for them.
So Welsh moves on. Coach Corville awaits the results, but phenomenal job he's done to get his team into the second round or the quarters after the loss of their quarterback earlier in this year.
Right.
Good coaches
Yes.
rally the team together.
Mm-hmm.
North Iberville runs away from Oberlin 44-6. First playoff win in school history. Coach Gass, congratulations from myself and Mr. Gary Swallow.
Yes, definitely.
What a night it must have been in Bear Country. Gary, guess what? They won the first one. They won the first ever playoff game at home. Now they get the second one at home this week.
Right. I mean, this is amazing. This is a story that you could not make
any
up.
better.
You know, you couldn't make it up. I mean, it is just North Iberville, first time playing in the LHSAA.
It's been a while.
And just coming in and winning in their first year back.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah,
I mean, that's just astonishing in itself.
That's a program that you can rally behind.
Oh, most definitely. You got a good group of people right there.
Yeah, man. Bear Country.
Right.
And you thought round one was something. Wait till round two, whenever they
Yes.
get to host this next team. General Trask, no problems with Centerville, 60-20. General Trask sets up a big time matchup a week from now.
Yeah, General Trask has always been a consistent program. As far
Good
as
athletes,
quality,
good
good
offense.
athletes. Yeah, and I think that they're setting up a great game with North Iberville. I think it's going to be an exciting ball game.
Yeah, one of the matchups that's not going to get talked about much, but it's one of those where it's going to be on our radar come
It's
Wednesday.
going to catch some people's eyes. Yes.
We got a bot in the chat.
Uh-oh, get rid of that.
All right, my friend, moving along here, we did say Grand Lake would be mentioned soon. Well, we mention them now. Jonesboro Hodge came in with upset alert on their minds. Grand Lake, how about a walk-off field goal in the last minute of that game? What a job from the Hornets. What a win for Grand Lake. Moving on to the second round, Gary.
I think my straw broke.
His straw might have broke.
God dog it.
Game-winning field goal, under a minute left. Final score, Grand Lake 23-20. Big winners over Jonesboro Hodge.
That's an exciting finish. Whenever you have a game winner like that, no matter what, whether it's pro, college, or high school, whenever you do that, man, that just elevates you so much. Great win, but they got a tough team coming forward.
You're right, my friend. Talk about this next one. 14 seed, 19 seeds. A 14 seed and a 19 seed, White Castle and Franklin. This one right here got ugly quick, my friend.
Yeah, it sure did.
Look at this. This is a 1A versus 2A type of deal here.
Correct.
White Castle was the home team in the 14 seed, but Franklin coming in as a 2A program, steamrolled White Castle 44-0. This is where those brackets don't really align, where you see 1As playing 2As in this bracket.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit Friday night. It's sometimes I think it's unfair that you have that, but till they come out with a solution that we can do, we have to stick with what we got. But yeah, Franklin just came out and they just put the gas to the floor and they just said,
Gas
let's
pedal.
go.
Franklin, all too familiar, making deep runs in the playoffs. So they got a big test a week from now with DeQuincy. So looking forward to seeing what the Hornets can do on the road next week, Gary.
Yeah, I think that's going to be exciting.
Elton and Basile Part 2. This time the game a lot closer, but you expected this whenever these two teams clash. Always going to play each other tough, no matter what's at stake, whether it's for the trophy or whether it's to go forward in the second round of the playoffs. And Elton Basile Part 2, what a game it was.
Right.
Elton Indians gets a win at home, 22-18. Basile loses right there by 4.
But it's hard to beat a team twice in the same year. And no matter what you do, you knew it was going to be closer. And Elton just said, "Okay, this is our year." Yeah. And and it has been their year. This has been one of the best years that Elton's had in a long time.
Got him twice this year, and a big home win. I'm sure it was a great environment. Because Elton Bazile, you can throw the records out.
Yeah, and they're not that far from each other.
Yeah.
They're 5 minutes down the road. I mean, it's unbelievable.
What else we got here? Logan Sport and Vornado. Remember Vornado was stuck in traffic
Yeah.
over there behind the wreck, man.
Yeah.
This one made them push the game back even later, and I'm sure this one.
That trip had a little.
I'm sure this trip was a little bit longer than they wanted it to be because Logan Sport, my goodness, once postseason football gets around, they turn it up a notch. 61-0 over Vornado.
Logan Sport has a great ball club over there, and
Great coaching staff.
Vornado just hit them in the first round, and that's I tell you what,
It's no easy
that's
task.
no easy task to go down to Logan Sport and try to beat them.
Yes, my friend. Mangum starts their push for the Dome. 63-28 winners over East Iberville. Congratulations to Mangum. West St. John knocks off Arcadia 40-6. So congratulations to those two programs moving along. Their roads to the Dome continue into round 2. And Gary, you saw a lot of offense in those last 2 games I mentioned, correct?
Yeah, not the one coming up.
Not the one coming up. East Feliciana goes on the road and knocks off Homer 6-0 upset in the first round. Homer,
Wow.
a lot of people had Homer making runs before this season started, but bounced in round 1, not what we were expecting.
No, man. Like I said, that must have been a big defensive ball game. You know,
First one to 6 wins.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when you see that in the playoffs, you figure, okay, you got defenses that are monsters on both sides, and they just controlling everything, and that's what it looked like.
Yeah, my friend. And you never know, this could have been a special teams touchdown. It
Could.
could have been a defensive score.
Yeah,
But
we're not sure.
2 field goals, you never know. But congratulations to East Feliciana going on the road, making the long road trip, knocking off Homer.
You're right.
So congratulations to the Division 4 non-select round 1 winners. They meet up, and it is time to announce round 2 matchups, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Your first matchup, the 1 seed Haynesville enters into play. They're going to play the 16 seed Montgomery. Golden Tornado. It's got a feel right here. This one might not be close, my friend.
Yeah, that's going to be hard. Haynesville is just their machine right now, and they're clicking on all cylinders. So Montgomery's going to have to play above their head, way above their head, to even be competitive in this game. I think.
Welsh waits either Faraday or Lake Arthur, or they're going to be in the quarters.
Yeah.
So we're going to await the results ourselves.
Yeah, we're gonna. This is something that the LHSAA has to rule on, and because of the circumstances, we're not going to get into all of that. But that Welsh can easily be in the quarterfinals if this is. If this is ruled on a certain way, Welsh can automatically get a bye and go into the quarters.
And they coming off of a quarterfinals a year ago.
Correct.
North Iberville as the 5 seed. They're going to play the 12 seed General Trask. Gary, this is one of those games where they could break the scoreboard and point score.
Correct. And, you don't want to – you can't take General Trask for granted because they've been here. Whereas in North Iberville, they're just getting back. Yeah, playoff experience.
This is going to be 2 good offenses going at it Friday night.
Most definitely. Yes, sir.
Grand Lake and Jeanerette. Grand Lake's going to have to throw the kitchen sink against a good Jeanerette team, but if anybody could do it, it's Grand Lake.
Oh, yeah, Grand Lake they've got tradition. They've got a lot of things, experience and all that. Jeanerette's just good.
And they had some speed bumps along the way. They were hurt.
Right.
Is Jeanerette healthy now?
Yeah.
That's the question mark.
The question is all of their people back? I know they've had a lot of injuries, bumps and bruises and everything, but man, if they're clicking, if they got all of their people back, they're going to be a hard team to beat.
Yeah. The Quincy and Franklin just got interesting. Those athletes from Franklin, they got some big boys on that team.
Yes, they do.
Could give the Quincy all they want, but this is a special season for the Quincy, so they're going to fight for 4 quarters, and they're going to do what they got to do to get out of there with a home win.
Yeah, DeQuincy's another team that actually has made a turnaround from last year. Last year they were not that good, but man, this year they're clicking. And,
and that speaks volumes to their head football coach over there, Coach Tate.
yeah,
He's turned that program around in a short time frame, and
Right.
he has those guys eyeing a quarterfinal appearance.
correct.
Elton takes the long road trip next week as the 11th seed, going to go down to beautiful Logan Sport to take on the 6th seed. What a facility and what a game day experience they will have whenever they go play each other.
That's going to be an experience and a half for them to go down there and see that facility and everything like that. And I hate to say this way, but that's going to be a tall task for Elton to play out there to try to beat Logansport. Logansport's just hard to beat at home.
Yeah. I've only seen a couple teams do it in the past couple years.
Yeah.
Haynesville and Kinder's the only
Kinder's
two I remember
Yeah.
in a 2-year span. Mangum, West St. John.
Yeah, but like I said, this is the playoffs, so it's
Yeah,
totally
anything
different
can
now.
happen.
Yeah.
Mangum, West St. John, a little 7-10 matchup. We'll see West St. John take the long road trip from New Orleans
Right.
all the way to
Yeah,
Mangum, Gary.
Yeah, that's
When-
a long trip.
When Enoch does his longest road trips on Wednesday,
I'll bet you that's
this
one
one's
of
going
them.
to be on top of the list. And then East Feliciana going to hit the road and go to the bottom of the boot to take on South Plaquemines. South Plaquemines enters into the playoffs in round 2, and get ready. That's good offense.
South Plaquemine is a good football team.
And-
you better watch it.
And I think they will show it in round 2. Their road to the dome begins, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Gary, the big upset of the bracket, I think we will both agree it has to be East Feliciana
Right.
over Homer.
Yes, most definitely. That has got to be it.
And if we go best game of round 1, when we go games of the night, it would have to be between 2 or 3. And I'll let you pinpoint this one. I'm going to go this route, and you tell me if you agree.
Yes, I
Okay.
was thinking the same thing. I was thinking Montgomery and Vinton.
So game of the night goes to them, okay?
Yeah, I would say game of the night definitely goes to them, yes.
42-40 shootout
Yeah.
type of deal there to move on to round 2. So game of the night there. How about a statement win of the night? Anybody really sticks out to you? Statement win of the night?
I
got one for you.
Yeah, I got one. North Iberville over Oberlin. That was a statement game.
I would go Franklin on the road blowing out White Castle.
Yeah, that's a good one too. As a statement game, true.
Harry, well, let's stick your route with North Iberville.
Mm-hmm.
If we had to give one helmet sticker to this bracket, who deserves it?
I think they do. North Iberville.
First win in
First
school,
win in the school
history,
history, yes.
in the playoffs. UTL helmet sticker goes to North Iberville Bears.
That's
I like it.
That's it. I mean, not anybody expected them to be here, and guess what? They are.
Yeah.
They're right there.
Congratulations to the winners. Good luck in round 2, Gary. We had some people flying in, sending their team some love this evening. Let's see.
We got a few. I saw that.
Tiffany Collins talking about those Logan Sport Tigers. Yes, too. Dangerous team in the playoffs. Fido Brandon says Lake Charles College Prep, a team that peaked at the right time.
Correct. Oh, well, we talked about that before the playoffs started. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the one that's playing like Charles College Prep right now.
Joshua Underwood says IOWA, Iowa. You can now see the Iowa
Yeah.
from the interstate on their scoreboard.
You're right. You're right.
What else we have? Arrow Elliott says Northwest Raiders. Yes, Raiders rolled at home for sure. Wilbur Jones, Lake Charles College Prep, getting a lot of love this evening. Jason Saunier says the Kinder Yellow Jackets had a bye week. They enter frame this week.
Right.
Denise Miller says Iota. That's a little shutout win at home this past week.
That's right.
Doug Regas says Bell Chase and South Plaquemines. 2 teams still alive in the playoffs.
Right.
Mr. Luke wants to shout out his Oakdale Warriors. Yes, only losing 3 seniors off that team. They'll be back in a big
Yes.
way next year.
Next year, yeah.
Hayden Lazard, LCA big 72 win over Beekman Charter. You big bullies. LCA. I'm just messing with you, my friend. Jeremy Garrett says Westminster Crusaders. Yes, route win for the Crusaders. I think I was the only one that called it on Wednesday night that I thought Westminster had a shot to blow them out.
Yep.
So congratulations with a big win there.
Yes.
What else we have? Miss Tiffany McGee says the Raiders travel to Plaquemine. Go Raiders. Yeah, it's going to be a great one in round 2 for sure. Can't wait to see how that one turns out. Luke also says Union Parish is the real deal. Yes, defending state champs.
Yeah. Union Parish is always tough.
Kendall says IOA, let's go. IOA's road to the Dome has begun. Mr. Brandon says Jennings Opelousas is game of the night. It's going to be a great one. You can catch that one on the CBC Broadcast Network. Jennings, they do a great job broadcasting their games. What else we have? No other shout-outs for their teams. Good deal. Congratulations to the round 1 winners. Let's go Division 4 select, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the winners in round 1. And let's go back to that Westminster and Delta Charter game here this evening.
Right.
Panel said Delta Charter route. Some of the panel said Delta Charter close. Right. Some of the panel said Westminster close. Gary, I was the only one on the panel that said Westminster in a blowout.
Yeah.
And it looks like it came into play here. So majority of us was wrong in this one. But the Crusaders, what a win at home. 54-12. Coach Porter has got his team rolling into the second round.
Yeah, you're right.
Go ahead, Gary. I'm reading some comments.
I am too. Let's see. All right. Westminster had a great game. The next game we have up is St. Martin's Episcopal and Delta Charter.
Yeah, man. You talked about this one. Would we get to see the St. Ed's Blue Jays battle Harlan Berry? Well, we got what we wished for. St. Martin's Episcopal rolled 56-36, and they set up Blue Jays versus Harlan Berry in round 2. Boy, that's going to be every bit of advertised. Correct. You can catch that game live on the St. Landry Parish Game of the Week's radio station. Right. So excited to listen from that one from afar.
Yes,
so I'm going to be listening to the Jennings Opelousas game on one station. I'm going to be listening to the St. Ed's and St. Martin's Episcopal game on another station. Right. So we're going to have multiple options in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, we're going to be out there listening to what we got. We're going to keep track of everything.
Yes, my friend. We'll have an iPad here with the Hash It Out Show Game of the Week. We'll have a radio here, and maybe another iPad for one of those VSN games.
Yeah, we'll be informed.
Yeah.
We will definitely be informed.
What else we have here? Kentwood, no problems with St. Mary's. The rules roll on for the second round. Gary, your favorite team in Division 4.
You're right. The Roos roll underneath the water tower, but now they're going to have to travel to Ascension Episcopal. That's going to be a hard game.
Coming down to Youngsville.
Yeah, coming down to Youngsville. That's going to be a hard game for them to play. But Kentwood has always been a favorite team of mine. I just love their mascot, but I love the atmosphere over there. They've always been successful. Gary,
is it crazy to think that the 11, 12, and 13 seed, usually top 4 seeds, might make a run at this?
No, I think that's pretty normal because we see a lot of that every year.
You could see a double-digit state final this year.
Yes, you sure can.
Southern Lab rolls past Sacred Heart 52-0. They are the defending state champs, and as we said on Thursday night when Opelousas won, the state champs are still the state champs until somebody beats them.
Right.
Same instance with Southern Lab.
Yeah, they are the champions until somebody dethrones them, and they're flexing their muscles to start it off. And look out, here they come.
Here they come. Central Catholic and Lincoln Prep, they were in a defensive game here. CC, last few weeks they played some good ball where you could say to yourself, here we go with a rematch in round 2 with Covington Christian after a shutout win for the district championship earlier in a couple weeks back. Now we go rematch in the second round for a trip to go to the quarters.
Yep.
I like it.
It's going to be good. I like it too. Anytime you see things like that. I think it just makes everybody's attention go focus right to that because it's fun to watch.
One of the most scariest 11 seeds I've ever seen in Division 4 here.
That's not a regular 11 seed. There's no way you can tell me that.
Gary, they're 10-1 right now. You're 10-1 and you're the 11th seed because of your strength of schedule.
Right.
They flex their muscles, as you like to say, and beat down Glenbrook 49-13. Now they're going to take a long road trip next weekend. We'll see with the 11th seed.
Yeah.
Then go knock off Catholic of Point Capee, but my friend.
They got to play them in New Roads.
My friend.
Tough place to play.
Ouachita Christian, no easy task as an 11th seed.
You're right.
Hamilton Christian St. John, a rematch from the thriller in the regular season. And you had another shootout this time around. That one was on the late game of the week with Mr. Chaston. And everyone says the quarterback needs to start getting some big-time offers. And he posted a clip over the weekend. And my friend, one of the best plays you'll see this year. I'm surprised ESPN did not put it in their top 10 plays because Mr. Vital and Hamilton Christian, that's a dangerous Warriors group going into the second round.
You're right.
41-30 final score.
Yes. And this next game, that's the one that I can say wow to, brother.
Opelousas Catholic, Westminster Christian Lafayette would love to know what was going down at Donald Gardner in this one, my friend, because at one point, wasn't it a 27-7 halftime lead for Westminster Christian Lafayette?
Something to that effect, yes.
Opelousas Catholic had a shot you could have just rolled over, but that's not in their DNA, Gary. They come storming all the way back in late in the fourth quarter. They go and get the game winner and win it 34-33, a lot closer than people thought. But when you're in the playoffs, it's any given Friday.
Well, yeah. And we were eating at a restaurant afterwards, and we had some fans that came in, and they told us flat out, they said at halftime they thought the game was over. Yeah. And they came back, and this one thing I can tell you is that in playoff football, don't ever give up because you can always, it's a game of runs. And that second half, Opelousas Catholic just woke up and they ended up winning by 1 point.
Yeah, man. What a run. Gary, congratulations to the round one winners. Time to start talking round two football.
Right.
When you start looking at these matchups, you got to start with the 1 seed, Vermilion Catholic. They're going to welcome in Westminster Christian Academy as the 16 seed. Gary, I think this is a matchup where I think these two teams scrimmaged each other back in before the season began. So here we are 11 weeks later, or if you include the Jamboree, 12 weeks later, and they meet again.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. You got Vermilion Catholic who is just rolling over everything. Yeah. I mean, they're just doing.
Is the curse of the 1 seed real?
Yeah. It could be.
The curse of the 1 seed could be real, but Vermilion Catholic, they've been a 1 seed a lot and have not been able to get to the big dance. But once in the last decade? Or twice? But if there was ever a year, it's this year.
Yeah.
I think this is the team, but it won't be easy Friday night. That Crusader team is coming in, and they're going to battle for 4 quarters.
They are going to battle for 4 quarters. So the thing is that can they control
Johnny
VC's,
Football?
Yeah, Johnny Football. Can they control the VC offense, and can they score on the VC defense?
I think this is a shootout waiting to happen.
And will numbers, because VC has a humongous football team. They have big numbers, and Westminster doesn't have the depth. So will the fatigue be a factor in this game?
I think this is a shootout waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Might come down to who has the ball last.
It may well.
This next one right here, it's going to be a lot of fun in round 2. St. Martin's Episcopal, the number 1 running back in the country, going to LSU, will be right here in Eunice, Louisiana, to battle the Blue Jays of St. Ed's. And if I know Coach Shiver, He's going to have those guys ready to go.
Most
A week
definitely.
off. How did you handle the bye week? And then what is the game plan to slow him down? If you're going to get in a shootout with St. Martin's Episcopal, I know you got two good receivers that can do it and a
Oh, yes.
dang good quarterback on your side. Kane West, Seth Oquan, Blake Moran. If it's a shootout waiting to happen, Blue Jays might have an edge.
They may. But I tell you what, I think that's going to be one of the best games in the state.
In that bracket.
Yes, most definitely.
Ascension Episcopal and Kentwood. A great season for the Blue Gators. They're going to be tested in a big way come Friday night with the Roos coming into town. How will Ascension Episcopal as a 5 seed match up with Kentwood's explosive offense? Their athletes on the outside. Can they match up? This is one of the better years we've seen from Ascension Episcopal in recent memory. They got a dangerous quarterback, so it could come down to the fourth quarter.
Yes.
I think this one has a shot. Kentwood very well could come in and win this game.
Kentwood, never underestimate the Roos. That's all I got to say. I think Ascension Episcopal's there. This is a special year for them, but I think Kentwood can come in and really give them a hard time.
Yeah, this next one here, Gary, 13 seed Southern Lab and the 4 seed St. Frederick. This is the old-fashioned, to be the champ, you got to go beat the champs. St. Frederick, really good defense. They're very physical. North Louisiana football, Southern Labs going north. Can the state champions come back home to Baton Rouge with a big win? Won't be easy.
Won't be easy, but they are still the champs until somebody beats them. So that's why.
4 seeds got a shot, but it won't be easy.
Never underestimate the champions.
Yes. We got an old district championship rematch with a shot to go to the quarterfinals. Covington Christian, Central Catholic. What a remarkable season it's been for Covington Christian. The old phrase from yourself, it's hard to beat somebody twice in one season.
Right.
Gary, this one right here, it's going to be a good one.
Yes, it will. I think it's anytime you have a rematch like that, you know, the losing team thinks that they can pick up on some of the things that they messed up on or mistakes that they made, and the winning team's got to say, okay, well, we did it once before, we got to go do it again, you know. But I think this is going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good one, Mark. I agree. This next one, a lot of people is going to count out the 6 seed Catholic Appointee when a Ouachita Christian comes into town. But I think that's exactly what Catholic Appointee wants.
Oh.
I think Coach Carruth is going to use every bit of material he can use this week. No one in the state is giving you a chance. They're going to post it all over the locker room. They're going to preach about it. It's our group, our locker room, our community against the rest of the state in this matchup. And I think he's going to have those guys fired up, ready to run through a brick wall come Friday night. That one might be closer than what a lot of people are thinking.
Right. I think this is going to be a nail biter. I think it's going to be back and forth.
NRG Stadium.
Yes, it's going to be.
It's going to be rocking.
They're going to be rocking no matter what. Yes.
I think they like the underdog road here when the whole state's counting you out. I think they're going to take that and run with it.
Right. I think so too.
This next matchup, it's going to be a great battle between quarterback and running back. Riverside's Lasty versus Hamilton Christian's Vital.
Right.
What a great duel this is going to be. This one's shaping up to be a good old-fashioned shootout. You got a great running back at Riverside coming off of a state runner-up a year ago. Hamilton Christian, what a dream season it has been. Can they go knock off Riverside next week? That's going to be some fun. Vital, Lasty, my friend.
Yes, you're right. I think this is going to be a closer ball game than people think. I think it's going to be whoever has the ball last.
Could be.
Yeah.
Special teams could win this
Yes.
one also.
Yes.
What else we have here? Opelousas Catholic and Ascension Catholic, my friend.
Oh man.
It's one of those things where you run into a situation where you get bounced from the playoffs time the last couple years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's been Opelousas Catholic's Achilles heel.
Yeah.
They have not been able to get past Ascension Catholic. Last 2 years they have been bounced, and here we are 3 straight times meeting in the playoffs. It's 3, the lucky number.
I would hope so for a local team. Man, Ascension's playing some good ball.
Yeah, they got a really good running back, LZ over there, and you got Coach Narcisse over there now, and he has those guys ready for a dome run. But same situation what we saw with Westminster pushing Opelousas Catholic to the wire.
Yeah.
Never underestimate your opponent.
I think Opelousas Catholic can do it.
They'll come ready to play.
They're healthy. They're healthy.
They're
right
healthy.
now.
They'll come ready to play, but Ascension Catholic, it's a giant.
Yes.
No easy task.
You're right.
Gary, I guess it's time to start talking about game of the week in that bracket. If you start looking at game of the week and you can pinpoint one game, and I think we have to go down to the bottom one.
Yeah.
Opelousas Catholics comeback win over Westminster Christian, 34-33, earns game of the week in that Division 4 bracket. Wouldn't you agree?
I think so. Yes, sir.
And you start to look at upsets of the week in this bracket. Well, Gary, I'm afraid we don't have any.
Not really.
I think
No.
everyone move forward in this bracket. I think all 1 through 16 are playing in the second round.
Correct.
So no upsets this week, my friend.
No.
If you had to give a helmet sticker this week, who would you give it to? Would you like to hear mine?
Yeah.
Helmet sticker for the Division 4 select bracket, UTL helmet sticker. You're down 27-7 at halftime, and you come storming all the way back to win it at the end at home to move on to the second round of playoffs. My helmet sticker this week goes to Opelousas Catholic.
Oh, definitely. That's you know that's basically a must in my eyes, because not only did you come back from a big deficit, you know, you basically flexed your muscles big time the second half, and you did what you had to do to win. And so I agree with you 100%.
Moving on to the Division 3 non-select bracket. Checking out some of these scores here. A lot of them wasn't close, and a couple upsets did appear in this bracket.
Yes, a few of them.
We'll start off with Baker Donaldsonville. What a job Coach Dortez has done in year 2, getting those guys into the playoffs, getting those guys hosting a home playoff game. So,
Right.
I mean, the sky's the limit for those guys with the Buffaloes when he's the head football coach and the staff that he's surrounded his guys with. But Donaldsonville, playoff experience matters.
Right.
And you got to think they're going to be back.
Oh, most definitely. You know, when you have a coach that's starting to put his system in play, and they're hosting a playoff game, you know, next year they're going to be right in there. They're going to they're going to pick up right where they left off.
Yeah.
I think.
So congratulations to Donaldsonville. 34-18 victory over the Buffaloes. And I think Donaldsonville and St. James all too familiar with each other. So this one, a lot of people already seen it earlier. So we'll see it again.
Yeah.
Pine knocks off St. Helena 40-16, and Kaplan knocks off North Webster 50-0. Gary, you know what round 2 is going to be for these two programs?
It's going to be exciting.
Hello
for me.
wing T
That's right.
football and hello physical football.
Yeah.
Pine Kaplan is the battle of the wing T's.
Yeah.
Excited for it.
Yeah.
Union Parish over Oakdale 47-6. Here comes the Farmers to be the champs,
You got to beat them.
and they're ready to make another run at it.
Yes, most definitely.
Red River, a great season. They're having no problems with Winfield 48-6. Westlake all over Crowley 55-0 shutout victory. That offense, my friend,
Yeah.
they got it clicking in round 1. And John C. Buck Stadium next week's going to be rocking.
It is going to be.
Mansfield proved to be too much for Avoyos 58-14. Lakeside rose past Bogalusa 37-12. Sterlington all over Patterson 63-12. Gina all over Caldwell Parish 52-0. And here comes your first major upset.
Yes.
Port Allen knocks out the Battling Bears 16-7. Down goes Church Point. Everyone called me crazy Wednesday night when I said this one had a shot to be on upset alert.
Right.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, broke my heart. I was really pushing for pulling for the Bears to make it a little mini run, but Port Allen proved too strong. They came up and played a very good ball game.
Too many athletes in this one.
Yeah.
Church Point might have been ranked higher than what most projected them to be here, but
Right.
out the playoffs early. Port Allen moves on, so congratulations to the Pelicans. Big win. And then the one we covered, Lowerville, Marshville. Let's talk about it, my friend.
That was a great ball game, great atmosphere. Loved it. It was exciting.
At one point, it was 28-20, Lowerville, with a minute to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Third quarter.
Third quarter, yeah.
We thought we were going into the fourth quarter. It was going to be a one-score game, and this one was shaping up to be a great finish. Gary, the story of the game has to be special teams.
Most definitely, yes.
If I go back to it real quick before I give you the floor, a kick return for a touchdown,
Yeah.
an onside kick recovered by Lowerville that eventually resulted in points,
Right.
and then a muffed punt that resulted in points a few moments later. How many is that?
That's 3.
That equals out to what,
That's
21?
21 points.
How many did they lose by?
What was the final?
48-26. They lost by three scores.
Yeah.
Special teams matters
Yeah.
in the playoffs, and
Right.
Lowerville took full advantage of it.
You're right. Certain things happen to where, you would just say, why did he do that? Why get away from the ball? Do this, and things like that. And it was
And then
just things like that just I call it fundamental breakdown.
and we talked to them after the end of the game. They said it was not even an onside kick. He just miskicked
miskicked it, yeah.
and they recovered it. So
And if you watched it, whenever he kicked it, it basically just went straight down at such an angle, and the guy he had to dive to try to catch it, and whenever he dove or tried to pick it up, it just bounced right off of him, and they were on top of him, to where
and
they
it
recovered
resulted
it.
in points.
Yeah, exactly, and they drove the ball down the field and scored.
21 points off of special teams.
Right.
In the playoffs, special teams can win and lose
Yeah.
ball games, and we saw it Friday night.
Special teams are very special and very effective. Yes.
Yes. Great environment. Can't wait to be back in Lowerville.
Yes, that was awesome.
Gary, matchups in round 2. St. James welcomes in Donaldsonville, little 1 versus 17 matchup.
Right.
8 seed Kaplan welcomes in 9 seed Pine. Battle of the Wing Tees. Physical ball game awaits. This one right here. It's going to be some hard hitting.
Yes.
5 seed Union Parish against the 12 seed Red River, state champs. Gonna find themselves with Red River this week. Not sure if this one's going to be close.
Yeah, that's. I wouldn't bet against Union Parish. I won't lie to you right now.
This next one has got a shot to be real close.
Yes.
Westlake and Kinder. It's going to be the Southwest Louisiana game of the week. Westlake Kinder. Boy, oh boy. This one right here at John C. Buck Stadium Friday night. Winner goes to the quarters. I can't wait to see how it
I
finishes.
think there's going to be a lot of fireworks in that game. A lot of action going on, man, I think.
Ooh, what a game. Oak Grove and Mansfield, another situation. To be the champs,
You got to beat the champs.
and Mansfield, they're big. Oak Grove, they're big. And Oak Grove, they might have a little bit more going forward. I think Oak Grove Tigers are the real deal.
Right. I do too. I think that's one of the scariest teams in this division right there, Oak Grove.
Lakeside Sterlington, a little 6-11 matchup. Intrigued with this one. See how this one finishes up. Sterlington might be the favorite, but Lakeside, what a season it has been.
Lakeside's good.
Yeah, great season.
You don't want to underestimate them in this seed. If Sterlington takes him lightly, Lakeside can actually throw an upset right there.
Gina and Port Allen, they got a date
Oh, wow.
Friday night. This one will be, our friends will call it on the walkthrough, their radio station over there in Gina. So excited to hear what they have to say about this matchup on their Wednesday night show.
That is going to be exciting.
And then the rematch of all rematches, ladies and gentlemen, it will be the 2-seed ERAF, 15-seed Loreauville. Here we go again. It was a one-score game earlier in the year, Gary. You got two great coaching staffs, phenomenal football players on both sides of the field. Loreauville ERAF, oh my goodness. If there was a second game that we could cover in a week, I would say this is this one, because Loreauville ERAF, what a game. It's going to be part 2.
I think the excitement of this game is the fact that it is a rematch. So I'm excited about it. I think it's one of the best things that we've ever seen. It's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be awesome.
Gary, time to talk best games of last week.
Oof.
So when you talk about games of the week, you ain't got many options here.
No, not really.
I would throw my hat on the one that we saw.
Yeah.
I would say Loreauville Marksville was the game of the week, because for 3.5 quarters, that's what it was.
Right, and then like I said, special teams is what flipped that switch. Yeah.
Upsets of the bracket, it has to go to Port Allen knocking off Church Point, hands down. That is your upset of this bracket.
You're right. I will give you that 100%. Upset of the night is definitely Port Allen over Church Point.
And Gary, helmet sticker this week, it's easy one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're
Anytime we cover a team on Under the Lights and they win it,
that's pretty close.
They get helmet sticker of the week. Helmet sticker of the week from Under the Lights goes to the Loreauville Tigers.
Most definitely. And, well deserved. Well deserved.
Moving along to Division 3 Select. We start off with this first matchup. Parkview Baptist, Lafayette Renaissance. Another situation when we talked about earlier in the bracket with North Iberville. Here's another instance here. Parkview Baptist, tradition, championship caliber program. Lafayette Renaissance doing it for the very first time. So imagine this playoff experience, what it's going to do for those guys moving forward. But Parkview Baptist, they've been around here.
Yeah, Parkview's tough. Parkview is one of the toughest teams to play in the state of Louisiana. And, Lafayette Renaissance, all their athletes, they were cruising so well, but Parkview said not so fast.
Yes. Parkview wins it 49-21. And got to think Lafayette Renaissance is going to come back in a big way a year from now.
Yeah, most definitely.
Lafayette Christian Academy, 72-0 over Beekman Charter. Hopefully they save some offense for round 2.
Yes, because they're going to need it.
Because the rematch awaits.
The rematch is on.
And my goodness, what a rematch it will be.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm excited to see that. If I want to be a bird on.
You remember when we said we had an iPad here, and a radio here, a radio here, and another iPad here? I guess we got to find somebody's cell phone to put on KVN TV and watch this one.
I think it's going to be amazing.
Amite rolls past Sarah T. Reed, 56-0. Gary, that offense comes into the Grove next week. Boy, oh boy, it's gonna be fireworks.
It's gonna be exciting. You're right.
Amite, that's an explosive offense. They got a shot to come and pull off a major upset.
Mm-hmm.
Time will tell.
Yep.
Slaughter Charter knocks off Thomas Jefferson 50-20. De La Salle, no problems with Fisher, 48-0. Pope John Paul, 39-14 over Holy Savior Menard. North Lake Christian, 48-16 over St. Louis. And D.R. Bonewoods Charter, 42-24 over Metairie Park Country Day. So,
yes, sir.
A lot of teams in round 1 handling business.
You're right. Man, the matchups. We got some good ones.
When we talk matchups, you start off with the 1-seed Dunham against the 16-seed Parkview Baptist. This is a rematch of the regular season, Gary, and this one was not close in the regular season. Could we see the same results, or could it be a little bit of the same, a little bit different this go around?
Might be a little closer, but I think it's going to be. It's hard to beat Dunham right now.
Yeah, 46-0 a long time ago in Dunham. They're primed to make a run. We'll see them against the Eagles in round 2. Then what the state's talking about, the rematch between Lafayette Christian Academy and the 8th seed Notre Dame Pios. Notre Dame's senior class welcomes in Lafayette Christian Academy. It's going to be a dog fight waiting to happen. Only way you can catch it is live in person or live on KVN TV. You don't want to miss it. Does Notre Dame clip them 2 times in 1 year? Or did the night train roll on to the quarterfinals?
That's going to be the big question. Notre Dame, they were playing all high and everything like that. They actually defeated Lafayette Christian for the first time, in God, I don't know how long, but
roll past the district.
Yeah, and but Lafayette Christian, man, to beat them twice in 1 year, that's going to be a handful.
They'll be ready to play, but you know who else is going to be ready to play?
Oh yeah,
the Pios.
Oh yes, most definitely.
Gary, this next matchup will be live on Under the Lights, and what a treat, what an opportunity, what a football game awaits. Friday night, 48 minutes, may the best man win. Gary, when these 2 teams meet inside the lines, Bucky A meet, it's the type of game where you just roll your sleeves up. My coaching staff versus your coaching staff, standing room only.
Oh, the Grove is going to be packed. It's going to be packed so much. It's going to be
It's going to be one of the
exciting.
best environments we've seen this year. This might break our record from this past week of views in a game. And Gary, whoever wins this one earns their way into quarterfinal week. Happy Turkey Week.
Turkey Week, man. That's what everybody wants.
Bunky A meet live on Under the Lights. Don't watch us. Show up to the game, and when they start turning you away from the gate, then start watching us.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it's going to be packed. It's
Yes, sir. Slaughter Charter battles Jewel Sumner, a little 4-13 matchup. Calvary Baptist and De La Salle, a little sneaky game here. De La Salle,
They're playing well.
they got a shot to upset Calvary Baptist. Won't be easy.
Nope.
Pope John Paul Episcopal, 6-11. And Catholic New Iberia takes on North Lake Christian, a little 7-10. And D'Arbonne Woods Charter takes on Newman in a 15-2 matchup, my friend.
Right, man.
Some great matchups in
Exciting
round 2.
matchups, yes.
Gary, game of the night in this bracket. I don't know. Can you call a game of the night in this bracket? They were all blowouts.
They were all blowouts. I don't know.
So we don't really have a game of the week here.
The closest one was D'Arbonne Woods and Meadow Park Country Day, I think.
No upset. No upset, says JB.
No upsets really.
No upset for round 2. What about upsets in this one? Nope, no shot. So no upset, no game of the week, but we can give away a helmet sticker.
Yep.
We give away a helmet sticker. How about Pope John Paul, Gary? Good friend over there, coaching the team. He's got his team playing some good football, gets a round 1 win. UTL, helmet sticker of the week goes to Pope John Paul, going to the second round of the playoffs. And,
I can relate to that. I can give it that.
And don't be surprised if they go win the second round matchup.
They could.
They very well could.
Yes.
D'Arbonne Woods, first ever playoff win in school history. So we can have helmet stickers.
Helmet stickers, good.
Division 2, non-select. We start off with this matchup, West Feliciana and Carroll, 50-29. West Feliciana Saints get a big win. And surprisingly not, a lot of people in the state's going to put them favored in round 2.
Probably not, no.
A lot of people in the state's going to put them favored in round 2. Surprise, surprise. Iota, a lot closer than what a lot of us thought this one was going to be. 21-0 victory over Assumption, but it don't matter if you win by one.
It's a win.
Don't matter if you win by 100. A win is a win, and the Bulldogs get a big one at home over Assumption.
You're right.
Coach Indes gets his guys a 48-12 winner over Rain. Lakeshore Titans move on in the playoffs
Right.
after a big win at home. Iowa with a rematch with LaGrange. Similar results here. Iowa rolls 48-6. Their road to the Dome has officially begun.
Right.
Minden upset at home by Wasserman 26-11. A lot of people were calling for this all week, said there was a shot that Minden gets upset. I didn't want to take the goggles off, but here we are, and what a win from Wasserman.
Yeah, Wasserman went in there and flexed their muscles, and they basically said we're not a 21 seed. We should be better than that.
Yeah, it was a down year for Wasserman, but you get into the playoffs and anything can happen. And here we are in round one, big upset. Bruley, no problems with South Bow. They win the shootout this evening, 49-29. Bruley rolls into round two.
Right.
Opelousas and Bastrop Thursday night. We called this one, my friend.
Sure did.
This one was a game in the first quarter, about half of the first quarter, I could say. And then Opelousas steamrolled the rest of the way, 47-6. Here, this was the Corey Fontenot and the Sean Ford offensive explosion type of night. They both combined for 3 scores. And then the backup running back, the third string running back, got in on the action late to get him a score. But the defense for 3.5 quarters pitched a shutout. Bastrop gets a late touchdown. But this defense, this front seven is as nasty as they get, my friend. And Opelousas, not your everyday 14 seed.
They still the state champions, Jordan. They still the state champions, and to be the champs, you got to beat the champs. And I know they have a big X on them, but guess what? They've been handling it. For the last 2 years, they've been pretty much going on the road and doing what they had to do.
Yeah.
This one was at home.
This one was at home, and they'll most likely be on the road the rest of the way. And, boy, do they have a giant matchup in round two. But congratulations to Opelousas. No speed bumps in round one. They handle business. And to be the champs, you got to go beat the champs. Check off round one for Opelousas, and their road to a repeat has begun. Raiders, this one was close at first, 14-7 somewhere in the second quarter before the Raiders really kicking it into high gear, and they rolled past the Ritter 35-7. Raiders, a year ago, they did it as a 22 seed. They rode all the way to the semifinals. Here they are as 11 seed, Gary.
Right.
They're 11 seed this year, and watch out. Raiders could find themselves into the quarters.
Yes, I think that's a possibility. And, man, if that happens and it goes out the way that we would like to see it, man, that's going to be an exciting quarter.
You're right, but a long way from there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later as it gets closer.
Absolutely. Northwest, they got a team this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing how far they can take them. North Dakota, they also have a team, Gary. They beat Woodlawn Shreveport 44-0. They get the stud receiver back, and they are primed to make a big run. Plaquemine 43-0 over Grant. What a season it has been for Plaquemine. They have been playing some good football this year. They get a big one at home next week.
Yes.
Belle Chase and North Vermilion. This one was on the Hashtag Show Game of the Week. Belle Chase rolls past North Vermilion 56-21. Congratulations to Belle Chase. Coach Moy, year one with North Vermilion. Sky's the limit for year two. You know, once he lays the foundation down, North Vermilion could be into some winning ways moving forward.
Oh, most definitely.
And Cecilia over Pearl River. This one, I think the whole state knew it was coming. Cecilia, not your typical 18 seed, 50-29, and as long as Diesel Solari is healthy, He's going to carry this team. And
Yes.
Gary, you never know in round 2. They
Yep.
got a shot.
Yep, they do.
They got
do.
a shot as long as he's healthy.
Tough team to go against, but boy, they got a shot.
What else we have? We got some comments in here. Not sure about that.
Yeah, you're right.
Defense is definitely tough.
Yeah.
Pieces are coming back soon. Excited to hear. We're fixing to get the Chalmets. Cole Corey being back from North Dakota. That's a game changer. 3 home games last season and went to the Dome. Now we in that same position last year. Yep. They're,
That's true.
they
It's
just
almost
say
identical.
line it up. Gary, game of the night in this bracket. Who gets it? Blowouts again?
Yeah, they pretty much all blowouts. The closest one was, let's see, Bell Chase and North Vermilion were closer.
Closer. How about Iota Assumption? A little
Yeah.
21-0 ball game here.
Yeah,
We'll go game of the night there. Upset of the night, we will give upset of the night to Wassman over Minden.
yes. That was a no-brainer there.
And helmet sticker of the night in this bracket. Anytime we cover a team
Yep.
and
Give
they
it to
get a
them.
big win, they get helmet sticker of the night. We give it to the defending state champions,
Right.
Opelousas Tigers.
Most definitely.
Gary, we're talking about matchups in round 2
Yep, let's do it.
and some exciting ones. The 1 seed Franklinton hosts the 16 seed West Feliciana. Franklinton better be careful in round 2.
Yeah, most definitely.
Iota Lakeshore, this one's going to be a great matchup. This one could come down to the wire. Lakeshore, that's going to be a great environment because you know Iota travels well.
Yes, most definitely.
Iowa Wassman, this is a rematch from the regular season. Iowa handled Wassman in the regular season. Could we see similar results? Or could we see Wassman come in, make this a closer ball game, maybe pull an upset? You never know.
Wassman's playing better, but man, Iota, they're strong. This is the strongest Iota team.
Iowa.
Iowa team that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So look out.
Bruley, Franklin Parish. Can Bruley go upset a lot of people's brackets this week and go and knock off Franklin Parish? Won't be easy. Franklin Parish with a talented quarterback starts their road to the Dome.
Right.
The big matchup in all this bracket will be Jennings and Opelousas. I got a feeling the whole state's going to be trying to buy a ticket to come watch this one, or they're going to be listening to the CBC broadcast.
Yeah.
Gary, Jennings Opelousas does not get any bigger than this one on Friday night. This is going to be Jennings' offensive line versus Opelousas' front seven. My goodness, what a game it's going to be.
That's going to be a show to just enjoy, because I'm going to tell you right now, those two teams, they're playing really well. But once again, Opelousas High School is still the state champs.
The battle in the trenches, my man. That's going to be a physical war if I've ever seen
Yes,
one.
most definitely, most definitely.
Northwest and Plaquemine meet on Friday. Plaquemine better be very careful because the Raiders, not your typical 11 seed to mess with. And if they get healthy and they get the pieces back, watch out. Raiders could find their way back in the quarters.
Right. I mean, if the Raiders have all of their team complete and they stay healthy for the whole game, look out. I think that could be a major upset.
North Dakota and Bell Chase. This one right here, I'm not sure how to think about it. Could be a lot of offense, could be a blowout, could be a walk-off, field goal, touchdown. We have to wait and see.
Right.
Cecilia Lutcher, throw the records out.
Yeah, don't matter. It's going to be a ball game.
This is not an 18 versus 2 matchup, Gary.
No, not at all.
This is going to be who wants it more.
As long as Diesel Solari is healthy, if he can play that, Cecilia has a chance to beat anybody.
They got a shot, but Lutcher, this Lutcher Bulldog team is going to be a team to be reckoned with. And if they get past Cecilia, They'll welcome in most likely, I ain't even going to assume, but Lutcher's road to the Dome, ain't easy.
No,
Because you got Cecilia this week, my friend.
you're right.
Some great matchups in this bracket.
You're right. I'm excited.
What else we have here?
Division
You think
2.
Lutcher and Cecilia is going to be in a shootout?
Yes. I think it's going to be
A track meet?
track meet.
Track meet. Division 2 select, my friend, Laranger and Kenner. Laranger 60-7 over Kenner. Lake Charles College Prep, they're peaking at the right time, 42-0 over McKinley. Prep, they really turned it up here late, Gary.
Yeah, they really have. They've been, since we've seen them, they have been playing exceptional football after that. It's like they got healthy and started clicking. So I don't want to play them right now.
St. Charles, the message has been great defense, not much offense. But, well, they found some offense in round 1, and if they find some offense in this year's playoffs, they could very well make their run back to the Dome. But, Gary, St. Charles 33-8 over Northside, that's a big win for the Comets, finding some confidence going into the Madison Prep game.
You're right.
If any team knows how to win in the playoffs, it's them.
Oh, yeah. The Comets know how to play some ball. They know how to win.
What else we have? Estruma, Booker T. Washington out of Shreveport. What a game it was. 46-44. Estruma escapes with a win. What a game.
Estruma is one of those teams that, you just got to be scared of. I'm sorry. They can come in and slap you in the mouth and play a hard-nosed game, or they can beat you running away. I mean, you just got to be careful with them, and so that's gonna be a hard game.
Frederick A. Douglass and Livingston Collegiate played on Saturday. Gary, this one came down to the wire. A big-time penalty in this one late was what pretty much decided the outcome, and then a busted coverage late. Livingston Collegiate gets that extra point after the touchdown and knocks off Frederick A. Douglass with a game-sealing interception. Wow. 19-18. Hello, upset.
Yeah. You don't want to see a team lose or win because of a penalty, but at the same time, you just got to keep your head and everything has to be, on the coast to try to keep everything clean. But I'm gonna tell you
one
right
gets
now,
behind you with late in the fourth.
Yeah, no one gets behind you.
No busted coverages.
No busted coverages. Just that now the defense has to play tight, and that's why they play the game. So Livingston Collegiate was just a little bit too much at the end.
Yeah. Gary, another upset in this bracket. Archbishop Hannon knocks off St. Michael 29-20. Ever since this quarterback has been ruled eligible for Hannon, they have turned their season around, and here they are finding their way to the second round.
Right. I didn't see that one coming. I thought St. Michael was going to be a little too tough, but Archbishop Hannon sure proved me wrong.
You're right. Loyola Prep, old Snoopy, rolls on 63-44. They go and win a shootout. Watch out for Snoopy.
You better hang on, Snoopy. It's going to be tough. Oh, my God.
And then Booker T. Washington goes on the road, knocks off Buckeye 56-14. Now they await. Is Booker T. Washington New Orleans going to play Friday? Or are they sitting in the quarterfinals? The ruling will be this week.
The ruling will be this week, and we're going to see if there's going to be a game or if Booker T is going to go automatically to the quarters.
Yes.
That's going to be the question.
Time to look at some of these matchups, my friend.
Yes, sir.
The 1 seed Archbishop Shaw enters play after a first round bye. They welcome in a Laranger team that hung 60 on Kenner Discovery in round 1. But, my friend, I don't think Shaw will be tested into the quarterfinals, if I'm being my opinion in this one.
I think so, too. Shaw is a team. They're a complete ball club right now.
Yes. Lake Charles College Prep and John F. Kennedy. In my opinion, this is the best game of the entire bracket in round 2.
I was going to say that also. I think this has the makings of the best game of the week in that bracket.
Yeah. And then JFK, if they can keep the penalties down, my friend, they got a good shot to win this game. But Lake Charles College Prep, something about a team that's playing their best football in the playoffs.
Right. You're right.
Good game. That one will be on the Hashtag Show Game of the Week. So we'll be watching. Madison Prep and St. Charles. If St. Charles finds some offense like they did in round 1, they could go upset Prep in round 2.
Right.
Won't be easy, but we know the Comets got a phenomenal defense.
This is going to be probably, I think, my second favorite game of the bracket.
Yeah. Gary, Struma, Haynes Academy. Haynes Academy better be careful in this matchup because this may be the best team they played all season.
Right. Struma's coming in with all cylinders flowing, man. They're kicking. So look out.
Yeah.
It's going to take a good Haynes Academy team to slow them down.
What else we have? Edie White, Livingston College. Edie White's defense could overwhelm Livingston in this one, but time will tell. Archbishop Hannon, Vanderbilt Catholic. Not sure about this one, Gary. It could go in 2 different directions. We'll see which direction it goes. Leesville and Loyal Prep. The Snoopy and that defense have enough to stop Xavier Ford on Friday night.
I don't know about that, man. If Leesville is clicking and Xavier is able to flex, it's going to be a long night.
And the long-awaited court date. Is Booker T. Washington going to the quarterfinals, or do they play University Lab Friday night?
Yeah, we'll find out this week sometime.
Yes, sir. Gary, game of the week in this bracket, we give it to Estruma and Booker T. Washington. Shreveport shootout, 46-44. What a game that must have been.
Must have, yes.
Upset of the bracket, Gary. It goes to Archbishop Hannon over St. Michael, 29-20.
Correct.
And if you're giving out helmet stickers, my friend, in your opinion, who would you give it to? My opinion, I'm giving it to a local.
Me too.
I'm giving it to Lake Charles College Prep.
We think alike, brother. That's who I was going for. Lake
Helmet
Charles
sticker
College
from
Prep.
UTL goes to Lake Charles College Prep. What a back stretch to the season it's been in. They rolling into a big one
Yes,
in round 2.
most definitely. Oh, now we with the big boys, sir.
Division I non-select, and every matchup in this one matters because round 1 you get your money's worth.
Yes.
We start off with Covington, and we start off with Barr. Barr pushes Covington to the wire, Gary.
Yes.
Bucks almost pulled off a major upset in round 1, knocking off Covington, but the Covington survives. 36-29. What a game.
Yes. You know, I thought this one was going to be a real strong. I thought it was going to be a shootout, and it turned out to be. You know, man, I wish I would have been able to watch it. That's how much I was excited to see that matchup.
Bucks season comes to an end, but what a season it was for Barr. So congratulations on a great season.
Right.
This next one, Gary, Chalmette upsets Terrebonne at the buzzer. Walk-off field goal. Chalmette moving on to the second round. What a win for the 24 seed. The highest seed in round 1 to move on to the second round.
I was getting ready to say that. You know, that's not a typical 24 seed, but the performance that they did, man, they played up and they just shocked number 9 Terrebonne.
Yeah, what a win and what a memory. Those kids will hold on forever.
That's going to be in their memory and their heart forever. Yes.
Hineville and HL Bourgeois. This one right here, a scare for a while.
Yeah.
The 25 seed had Hineville on the ropes for a while, and it came down to Hineville pulling away late to a 10-point victory. Gary, scare for the Tigers.
Yes.
You get this one out of the way, you flush it, you go into round 2, reset, refocus.
That might be just a wake-up call. Might be just what they needed to go forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hahnville, they escape with a win and a wake-up call going into round 2. They're going to get another game at home next week, so expect a different Tiger Ball Club team in round 2.
Most definitely.
Mandeville and Thibodaux, Skippers, skip along to the second round, 31-16 over Thibodaux. This one a lot closer than what people think.
Right.
In this one, Mandeville, without the all-American running back in their backfield, finding ways to still win ball games.
Right.
How far can the Skippers go in this playoffs?
You gotta come together as a team. They gotta work it together.
Gary, West Monroe and Parkway, everyone on the panel pretty much said West Monroe would go on the road and knock off Parkway Wednesday night. We all had a gut feeling here, and it came into fruition on Friday. West Monroe Rebels play a complete game, knock off Parkway 35-14. Big win for the program.
Yeah.
After a round 1 loss a year ago, this one has to feel good.
West Monroe is one of my, as you know, West Monroe is one of my favorite teams. And I'm going to tell you right now, going into the playoffs, I just thought that with their district, the way that it ended and everything like that, they weren't district champs. They, they were third, I think, in the district. They weren't third or fourth. And them coming off of that, that's not normal for West Monroe. And I think this is their new season.
Braden, we're going to talk about that Wednesday, but they did get to 35 with scoring a touchdown with 6 seconds remaining instead of kneeling it out. I know you're against that type of that thing.
I don't like doing that.
So we're going to talk about it Wednesday, get everybody's opinion. Gary, this next one right here, boy, lived up to the hype. West Ouachita and Denham Springs. You knew Denham Springs had a shot. They had a phenomenal ball club. They were coming in as a 20 seed, but not your typical 20 seed. This one would come down to the wire. It took overtime in West Ouachita, 42-41. What a season it's been for West Ouachita, and what a win at home, and what an environment that was, Gary. They move on to round 2, and what a game, 42-41. You can't beat playoff football when it looks like that.
That's the type of a game where you just feel so bad that somebody has to lose. Because, that game there was just so emotional, I'm sure, for both teams. Denham Springs, great season, but West Ouachita comes out on top.
Denham Springs went for 2 in overtime and did not get it.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Gary, that's playoff football.
Wow.
At its best.
Yep.
It's playoff football at its best. First win for West Ouachita. First playoff win for West Ouachita since 2007. A long time coming.
Yeah, you're right.
They're going to make the long road trip down to Baton Rouge next week, so you got to think they're sky high right now.
Oh, God. Sky high is not the word.
Zachary Sam Houston, 54-35 Broncos roll past. What is this? The Broncos and Broncos? I was about to say the Broncos roll past the Broncos, but here we are.
Zachary rolls past Sam Houston.
There you go.
That's the easiest way to say it.
54-35. Something about good coaches once they get into postseason play. Zachary is a 14 seed right now, Gary, but Coach Brew, playoff experience with the best of them, so he'll have his Broncos team ready to play week in and week out.
Don't underestimate them. Had another upset here.
Yes, touchdown. Only 2 losses this year have come to Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. We said Dutchtown losing their starting quarterback in practice earlier in the week would be a big problem in this one, and Walker gets him twice in 1 year, and Walker's going to the second round. Only 2 losses this year against Walker. Touchdown season comes to an end in round 1.
Yeah, that's got to be hard.
Southside Sharks roll past Live Oak 42-10. You could put Jess Curtis in that category of playoff experience. Whenever you get him in the
Yeah.
playoffs, he knows how to win ball games.
Don't underestimate Southside. Most definitely.
Yep. Torn ACL in practice.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, terrible situation going into round one. Northwood Shreveport beats Salmon 54-27. Gary, Northwood Shreve, good offense. They know how to score, and they know how to score a lot of points.
Yes, they do.
They're going to have to keep outscoring teams, I think, if they're going to have a shot to make a run.
Yeah, especially going forward. Most definitely, their offense is going to have to click.
What else they have? Westgate knocks off Santa Mont 28-20. We all thought to ourselves that would Antoine play? I hear that he didn't. So, and they still found a way to beat them on the road. That tells you there's a lot of pieces to this team that can make Westgate go for a run.
Anytime you beat Santa Mont, that's
Over
good.
there, crazy environment.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes, sir. And then we look at this last one, Destrehan all over Washita Parish, 30-12. Gary, you start to look at these matchups, they're shaping up to be some good ones.
Oh God.
Let's look at them.
Most definitely.
Neville welcomes in Covington. Covington, they got to play a lot better than they did in round one if they're going to pull off a big upset.
Most definitely.
Neville, they're going to find their way after the Alexandria loss. Expect the week bye for them to be ready to go.
Yeah, most definitely.
Chalmette, the 24 seed against Hineville, the 8 seed. Another situation here where Hineville got to play better than round two, and Chalmette, emotional win. You got to think those guys are going to come in ready to play. So Chalmette, could they be this year's Cinderella?
Might be, but Hanville's going to be tough to beat.
What else we have here? West Washita, an emotional victory playoff. They're running on a high right now. First playoff victory since 2007. Tough task in round two. I think they're going to be up for the challenge, but Central Baton Rouge, that's going to be a game.
That is a good ball club there.
Yes.
Central is going to be ready for them.
Gary, Ruston, and Zachary. This is going to be a state championship rematch from a year ago, so we can already cross off Division I non-select. We will not see a rematch in this bracket.
Right.
We get new blood there.
Yes.
And Ruston, Zachary in a second round.
Look out.
Who has that in a second round matchup?
I don't know, but it just worked out that way. That's a state championship game right there. That's almost a state championship game right there. Going to be interesting.
My goodness. Walker, big win in round one. They have Southside in round two. Playoff experience from Coach Curtis. They got a couple backs in their backfield. Mr. Singleton. Gary, Southside could very well find their way into the quarterfinals, and they got the coach to take them there.
Southside has a good ball club, and they're going to be, Acadiana may be well represented into the quarters.
What else we have? Northwood, Shreveport, and Destrehan. A little offense,
Yep.
a little defense here, but it's good to see Destrehan's quarterback healthy, and it's
Right.
proven big these last couple of weeks since he's coming back. And Destrehan could be a sleeper at the 10 seed.
Don't underestimate Destrehan.
Could be the sleeper at the 10 seed.
Yes.
And Gary, Airline, you're on upset alert this week as the 2 seed because Westgate, they got the
quick.
defensive backs that can line up with the Airline receivers this week.
Right.
What a matchup it's going to be. That receiver core versus that defensive backfield. Airline better be careful.
Yeah. They can't take anything for granted because this may be a upset alert.
Gary, game of the week in this bracket, you got to give it to West Washita and Denham Springs. Overtime.
Did you do Mandeville and West Monroe?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I wasn't paying.
I must have skipped it.
Yeah, Mandeville, West Monroe.
I'll go right back to it. Game of the week has to be West Washita and Denham Springs. Overtime, 2-point
definitely,
conversion,
definitely.
stop for the win.
Definitely. That's definitely game of the week. You have 2 upsets in this one.
You got 2 upsets. Who do you go to in this one? I got to give it to the 24 seed Chalmette walk-off field goal over Terrebonne.
Right.
20-17 upset of this bracket.
Correct. I was with you on that one.
And one more bracket game for Division I's non-select we skipped over. Mandeville, the Skippers, against West Monroe, Gary. Can Mandeville find enough without Nate Shepard to knock off a good West Monroe ball club?
That's going to be an exciting ball game. West Monroe's playing, possessed ball right now because, like I said, they're pissed. Like you said, they're pissed off. They want to show that they're still relevant, and Mandeville better be careful. Yes.
Yes. Gary, time to give out a helmet sticker this week. You're giving out helmet stickers. Who you give it out to? We like to stick with the locals.
Mm-hmm.
But we give a helmet sticker to the Southside Sharks.
Yeah.
Big win at home. Knocks off Live Oak. Setting up a game in round 2. Sharks, year 1, Jess Curtis.
Most definitely, sir.
Their road has begun.
Jess, we need a helmet.
Let the season finish.
Oh, I ain't in a hurry. We need a helmet. See the wall.
And our good friend over there, Coach Laborde, is the defensive coordinator.
I know. We're working on it. I'm just picking. I just have to pick a little bit.
We'll catch him at the end of the season.
That's right.
Division I select Gary. Huntington blasts Hammond 34-6.
Yes.
Man, they made the long road trip and beat Hammond this week. Gary, they come back home and you start to think to yourself, we got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
They got to go on the road again. Huntington's in Shreveport, correct?
That's what I thought.
They got to go to Carr next week.
I know.
Back-to-back road trips.
Just the thought of going to Carr is scary enough, but then they got to travel to go there. Oh my God. Woo.
Yes, right, my man. We'll check out those details on Wednesday. How far they traveled in 2 weeks. St. Aug, no problems with Karen Crow, 44-7. McDonough 35, no problems with Riverdale, 49-9. East Jeff knocks off Bonneville 28-10. John Curtis has made it to the playoffs. And Curtis in the playoffs, watch out. 21-13, they get Brother Martin again.
Yeah.
Jesuit ends Lafayette season 45-7. C.D. Bird knocks off Woodlawn 20-0. And Evangel wins the shootout 58-48. That was a late pick 6 to put that game away. And Holly's lock of the week hits again. She's 11-0.
Could the E be back? Man, the way that they're playing, I would say probably so.
Only for round 1.
What?
Because you look
look who they have to play next. But I mean, we'll talk about that, man.
Gary, let's look at matchups in round 2.
Yes, sir.
Long road trip, back-to-back weeks for Huntington.
Yes.
This time they get the University of Edna Karr, and Edna Karr's road to the Dome begins.
That's right. And let me tell you something. That's a scary thing to have to go all the way to New Orleans to play Edna Karr, especially playing the way that they are. I'd be scared, and I'm going to tell you, that's a scary team. Look out.
Look out.
That's it. Look out.
St. Aug, St. Thomas More, live from the Cougar Dome. This one is going to be something to keep a close eye out on. Can't wait to see this matchup. St. Aug, St. Thomas More, once again, to be the champ.
You got to beat the champ.
St. Thomas More is the champ in a different bracket.
Different bracket, but they're still classified as a state champion.
St. Aug, they got a shot.
Yep, they do.
They got a shot to win. McDonough 35 has to play Rummel this week. Oof, that's no easy matchup there.
Scary.
Rummel's good.
Yeah, Rummel is good.
Tell you what, this next one, East Jefferson got to play the defending state champs, Catholic of Baton Rouge, that has only been playing dang good football as of late. Gary, it's tough to beat Catholic right now.
Right now, Catholic is playing very good football, and I'd be scared to go against them. But you got to play the game. East Jefferson has a chance. They have a shot, but Catholic of Baton Rouge is clicking.
Won't be easy.
Nope, not at all.
Acadiana, John Curtis, we get it again. Fear the Veer.
Fear the Veer, you're right. But
you're right.
Fear the Rams, because they can do it both ways. They can veer it or they can throw it.
It's going to be John Curtis's defense versus Acadiana's offense.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the decider, in my opinion.
Yes, most definitely. I agree.
Who comes to play for 4 quarters? Jesuit and Turlings. Turlings got to be careful this week.
This could be a trap game.
That's a good Jesuit ball club.
Yes.
CD Bird going to take the long road trip and go play St. Paul's. St. Paul's, another good ball club.
Yeah, but Bird is playing well too.
How many possessions will St. Paul's get? Bird will play keep away.
Mm-hmm.
And Evangel Peyton Houston will have to play the game of his life to go and try to knock off undefeated Alexandria. Alexandria is on a mission.
That offense, well, you could say you can't say it. That offense again.
That's all three phases.
This is all three phases of the game. You got to have offense, defense, special teams.
And they got it.
And they got it. So you got to look out. That's going to be an exciting ball club. Can Alexandria execute and score against Evangel's defense?
Yes.
That's the question right there.
Yes.
They can?
Yes.
I know they can, but can they stop Evangel? That's the question too.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
We will see. Yes.
A lot of points,
Yes.
but a lot more points one way.
Yes.
Gary, great matchups indeed, my friend.
Yes, sir.
What else we have here? Game of the night. Anybody really stood out to you? Game of the night? I mean, Evangel, Captain Shreve. Anytime you touch the 48-58 mark and a late pick six really made this a 10-point swing. But Evangel, Captain Shreve, that was another game of the night type of ball game.
Curtis and Brother Martin, being as close as it was, I think was okay. Was on that, but like you said, I think the Captain Shreve Evangel game that had to be the game of the night.
Yeah, if you're looking for upsets, Curtis knocks off Brother Martin on the road, 21-13. And then you look for helmet stickers of the evening, Gary. Anybody really stood out to you? Who's getting a helmet sticker this week? I'm going to give it to Evangel.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah,
you know why I'm giving it to Evangel? Because they were Holly's Lock of the Week.
That's okay. I can live with that. That's pretty cool.
Holly's Lock of the Week goes 11-0. Evangel gets a helmet sticker from us.
Man, that was just amazing.
Gary, put a bow on this one, my friend.
Week one.
Round one.
Oh, round one. Well, week one of the playoffs. Round one of the playoffs is done. Well, almost. We still got some things to figure out, but that has nothing to do with us.
You're right. A lot will be determined in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Right. They have to let us know something early. I mean, I'm sure, because this is setting up to be some of the most highly anticipated playoff games that we've had in quite a while. I mean, they had some good matchups down there.
They got some heck of a good second round matchups.
Yeah.
I started to put my eyes out on a few quarterfinal matchups. If things go the way they do, Gary, I got 3 games lined up if teams win.
I'm ready.
And you know what can happen?
What's that?
All 3 of those games could go down the drain because those teams could lose.
Yep.
You start to look into the future, and teams get caught.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're eyeballing potential quarterfinal matchups for Under the Lights, but how about we just enjoy round 2 and a great game that we got Friday night?
You're right. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But, my friend, I got to tell you, this was a great week for us. We had some great games to cover, and we look forward to next week's game, which, we announced it already. We're going to be at the Grove in Bunkie. And I'm going to tell you, that's going to be a lot of excitement there. That's going to be a lot of excitement throughout the state, my friend.
Yeah, we're going to keep a close eye out on everything. Gary, your thoughts on the playoff curse?
Playoff curse is real.
The playoff curse is real.
Yes. You got to be careful. The playoff curse is real.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about myself.
Oh, your playoff curse. Oh, no. Your playoff curse. It better be done. We don't want no more of this. Get your voice back. We don't want you in no hospital no more.
Gary?
That's 2 years in a row, so we don't need that.
Gary, let's do the math here real quick before we get off the air. The playoff curse is real. This
Yeah.
year, what's a good broadcaster without his voice?
Yeah, I ain't saying nothing. But,
Yeah, I mean,
hey, he fought it. We did. I think we did a good job, man. We pulled it. We pulled it off.
hey, we're not even close to being a top program in the state. We just have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of people that do it better than us out there, but we just appreciate the opportunities.
Right. And let me tell you something, guys. I'm going to tell you this straight up. Jordy is the backbone of this Under the Lights crew. He's the one that does everything. He's the one that preps all of this stuff. But when he went down with that losing his voice and everything, I knew that myself, Enoch, and Bryson were going to step up, and I think we did a great job on that game Friday night. And I got to thank them for stepping up with us, and Jordy for being a trooper and just making sure we didn't screw it up too bad. Making sure we were there. He couldn't tell us nothing, and that was a good thing. He couldn't yell, so he was pointing around and telling us what to do and who to go. But get well soon, man. We don't like doing this without you.
Yeah. This year was the voice in the playoffs. Last year was the kidney stones in the playoffs. The year before that was the appendix in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then the year before that, Gary, was the sinus infection.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what this year did. See, this year now, that's what you got right now is a sinus infection. You got all of this crazy. So it went from the sinus infection to the appendix to the kidney stones and back to the sinus infection this year. So be careful, man. Take your medicine.
Gary, who's the crazy one that has surgery on the Wednesday and is calling the game on the Friday?
You. His name's Jordan Taylor from
Yeah.
Under the Lights.
Yeah,
That's who
buddy.
it was.
Final words, my friend. Let's get on out of here.
All right.
Wednesday night, 8:30. We're set.
Yeah, Wednesday night, 8:30. We will have our pick show going. Tune in to see who all we think is going to advance to the next round, and hopefully have some good football. But
We do want to make the announcement about the semifinals will be on Thursday for the pick show this year.
Yeah, the semifinals this year the pick show is going to be on a Thursday night instead of a Friday.
Wednesday.
Instead of a Thursday night instead of a Wednesday. I'm sorry.
Because I come back home from
Because
a cruise on the Thursday.
somebody is going on vacation.
Takes vacation during
He
football
takes
season.
vacations during football season. Can you believe that?
Well, Garrett, we got the Wednesday night pick show, and we have Thanksgiving on the Thursday,
That's true.
and then we have the football game quarterfinals on the Friday,
All right.
and then we leave for our cruise on the Saturday, and we come back on the Thursday.
So he's
So-
going to be coming off of the boat and coming in to do the show.
Yes. And on the boat, I'm gonna be making sure we get a semifinal game to cover.
That's right. That's going to be him.
So sitting on the beach in Mexico, I'm gonna be calling football coaches.
Yeah, probably
and my,
will.
And my wife's gonna look at me like, put the cell phone down right now.
He's going to come back with a big old knot on his head from his wife arguing with him and him talking back. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your work week. Congratulations to the winners. And congratulations on a great season to those teams and those players that play their final downs. Good luck in round 2, everyone. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you to my good friend Gary Swallow, the rest of the crew and panel. We look forward to getting down to Bunkie for a much anticipated round 2 matchup. But before we get there, Wednesday night pick'ems. Don't want to miss them. We'll see you then. For myself, Mr. Gary Swallow, God bless each and every one of you. God bless yourself. We'll have a voice back by next week. And
It's better.
forever, UTL.
Yes. Later, guys.
It's a good thing we have microphones because no one would have been able to understand tonight.
That's right.
Playoff curse.